Oh no, what the? I can't believe Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. I am your host, Dawn Block. I am a local realtor in the area in the northwest suburbs. I am with Century 21 Circle. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. I'm hoping we can get some people up here taking a look at what's going on. But while we're waiting for more people to join, I am going to go through my housekeeping items. Yes, I do have housekeeping items. And one of them is that we are streaming live. We're streaming live on my personal business, a neighborhood, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you're on LinkedIn, you should be able to see me. So welcome everybody. Also, I love interaction. So I see we got one person up there looking, but if you can interact with us, ask questions with my special guests. I love the interaction, so I'm hoping more people will pop on and we can get some interactions. But if you are seeing this, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. I just want to know that you're out there. So join us if you can. Oh, one heart. Woo! So thanks everybody for joining us. I'm going to introduce our special guest. Her name is Erica Chianelli. She is with FamilyForward. She is the executive director of FamilyForward. And I'd like to welcome you to our show.
Thank you so much for having me, Dawn. Glad to be here.
I'm glad that you took the opportunity to come. I would love if you wouldn't mind, and I know that we have it scrolling out at the bottom of the screen, but let people know how they can get in touch with you.
Sure. You can reach me via email. My email address is erica.chianelli@family-forward.org. You can call me at 847-342-0846. And you can also find me on LinkedIn and just direct message me there.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for being on the show. And what I want to do before we jump into questions, we need to see who is here. Yes. So, Chris Black, watching you two, looking forward to it. Well, I'm looking forward to having you here, Chris, too. Thank you for joining. He's my number one fan, He's my husband. Thank you again for joining, Chris. So we'll see if anybody pops up and anybody else chimes in. But what I would like to start out with our first question. And, everybody has, you have your job that you are in now. Mm-hmm. But what were you doing before? Maybe go as far back as high school and come on. And
this is good. I got some good high school jobs.
Right. This is good.
So my first job in high school, I think I mentioned to you, my dad owns a construction company, and I was a flag person.
Oh,
in the construction.
No, you never told me.
I didn't tell you that. I know. So this is new.
No, this is new.
So I have a great story for this. I live in the suburbs, and I was working on a job in Lake Forest, and I was holding the stop sign, and I was holding stop, and this car, it was a Bentley, was coming towards me and wasn't stopping very quickly. And I'm like, stop. And I look, and it was Mr. T.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
so that was kind of a fun claim to fame there.
Oh, yeah.
So that was one of my jobs. I worked at Kohl's.
So you were one of those people that stood out there.
Yes.
Flag
girl, stop go.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So it was an interesting job. It was tough actually.
I bet you during the hot weather.
In the summer, yes, because you have to wear pants and
Winter?
Short sleeves. I only did it in the summer because it was I was in school. So I did that. Worked at Kohl's. My first job after college, I think I might have mentioned, I worked for a nonprofit. I was executive director, or the assistant to the executive director of an organization, and we did financial education in the city. So we got to go around to all over the city doing financial literacy and that sort of thing. So that was really eye-opening for me there as well.
I bet you. So how was it going?
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was
you
humbling.
You lived in the suburbs. You're going
suburban
into the
girl
city.
Going to the city. We did financial education in Cabrini Green housing complex. We were going to Englewood, some churches there, all over the city doing financial literacy. So that was a really humbling experience for that. We were doing community and economic development initiatives, and financial literacy was part of that. Wow. So, you know, I have had a variety of nonprofit sector jobs because that's where my heart has always, you know, been. From there, I worked in Chinatown also. I was executive director of the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. Oh, wow. When I moved to the suburbs, I was executive director of a soccer nonprofit. I played soccer in college, so that was always, you know, my favorite sport. So that was fun to get in the sports arena in that sense, just helping, you know, with a youth leadership program there and trying to bring soccer programming to underserved youth. I didn't coach. My kids played, but that was just something that I don't think I could do that.
Your kids played. So were you like hard on them because you played in soccer?
Of course.
Yes,
definitely. So did that, and then had a few, you know, I think I was my job just before the one with FamilyForward. I was with the District 95 Educational Foundation. So that's in Lake Zurich. Okay. So I'll help with that organization. And then now I'm here at FamilyForward. So it's kind of a variety of jobs in different sectors, but all in the nonprofit world, pretty much. So
that's been your gig. Your gig is not for profit. Mm-hmm. So I was going to ask you now. So everybody, when they're there's like a time that there's like you get that feeling where you're like, what was that aha moment when you were like, you just got done telling us a whole slew of jobs that you did, but there has to be that aha moment, you know. And I remember, like, even yesterday I heard it because we were over at the Diversity Alliance 2 years anniversary, which was really outstanding, and you gave a great talk there also. But I was wondering that you have a very carefree attitude towards life. And I would love for you to tell. I mean, I know if it's hard to do it, I understand. But if you could let people know, because I think that's your attitude on life is so. Everybody should be that way. If you
I'm definitely. I'd love to share this story because it was life changing for me. Unfortunately, it was a health issue that I had in 2015. That, you know, I was in the hospital for a week at a time. I was in the ICU. There was a sarcoma tumor that they found in my pelvis, and they were trying to remove it, and various complications, that sort of thing. Lots of blood transfusions. Like I said, ICU, had 2 surgeries. Eventually, they removed most of it, but some of it's still there. But it really was a point in my life where I realized, dang, life is short. I mean, you can say that as much as you want.
I know.
But until you have an experience that gains true perspective, you don't get it. And I got it. After that, I literally did shift my perspective on life and just tried to live more of a life of gratitude, and be grateful for every moment that I had. Because I literally am happy that I'm alive, right? Like for my kids, for my husband, for my family, all that. So that really changed everything for me, because I used to be much more like intense and like, you know, by the book. And now, you know, I'm like, oh, well, like, that's okay.
You just let everything go.
You
let it roll off.
I do let it roll. I don't let stuff bother me as much. It's a much easier, better way to live.
It's like, but do you have to have something so perfect happen to you before you realize it? Because when I hear your story, I'm like, you know, because I want to say that's probably how I am. I'm more rigid. I'm more like, you know, stressed out all the time with everything going on. And then you realize that you really have to have something hit you make yourself realize.
Unfortunately, sometimes that is, you know, because it's hard to change that mindset when you've been stuck in it for so long until you have something to give you true perspective. I mean, and it's different for everyone. Some people are like that naturally, but if you're not, what's going to get you to change? It's hard. I know. It is.
So that's why I'm just like, you know, my husband's always like, don't worry about it.
I know.
You know, everything will be okay. Right. And it's like, I'll calm down for that moment. And then it's like, whoop, I'm back up to being like at 110 miles an hour. Right. So, but yeah, that is a great story. And you're right. That is a good lesson. I mean, we really should have a different outlook on life, you know, and so that we don't stress ourselves out and be a little bit more the gratitude, you know, giving to, I mean, I think when you give, you feel better inside too. So,
for sure.
So that's what I like about you. I think that was a great story. So okay. So obviously there's a moment too that you had before that you knew that brought you to where you are today. Let us know.
Yeah. So, I went to Loyola University in Chicago for college, and it's a Jesuit organization that really focuses on the service learning aspect of things. So that I had so many opportunities to volunteer there, and I was really, getting more involved in the community, learning about, other people and the diverse cultures and the way people live and all that sort of thing. But my junior year in college, I decided to go on a missions trip during spring break, and it was a Christian Appalachian project. And so I went with, I think, 4 or 5 other Loyola students, and we went to the mountains in Kentucky, and we built a house for a family in need there. And it was really an awesome experience because we were, doing manual labor, sweating together, and the family that we were building it for participated as well. So it was really great.
So you really get to know the
family.
we
got to meet them and see where they're going to live, and just to see how grateful they were to have a roof over their head, and to know that, people were giving up their spring break for them. That's heartwarming for them, and just to know, wow, someone cares about me enough to do that. Yeah. So that was really life-changing for me. I think I mentioned too, like it was, we were out in nature in the mountains, so it was really spiritual in that sense too. You got to appreciate just
you're getting away from all the hustle and bustle.
It was awesome.
That spot.
So that, from that moment, and then just combined with my other volunteer opportunities I had in college, I really thought, this is it. I want to do something. I have to make the world a better place. I mean, blah, 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 right? But in the end, that's when it comes down to, and I want to do that no matter if it's in my job, or if it's at home, volunteer opportunities, whatever. Even if it's just trying to do that by how you treat other people. Like everyday life.
Yes.
You can still make the world a better place by smiling at someone, by saying hi, by just treating how you want to be treated.
Don't always think that person, the other person could be going through something.
Oh, you have no idea. Everyone's stories are so different, and you don't know what's going on in their head or behind their doors, nothing. So don't assume anything about anyone. So I think that was the life-changing, moment for me.
That's awesome. I think that's really, hopefully everybody can learn from it. So Family Forward, I think we need to get into what is Family Forward all about. Now we do have a slide presentation, so I'm going to bring it up. And hopefully, there we go. So Family Forward, we mentor, empower, and thrive.
Yes.
Is that your tagline?
That is.
And what made you pick that tagline? What was that?
When I tell you a little bit about what we do, you'll see where it comes from. But so let me give you a little bit about Family Forward.
So why don't we go to the next?
So we are a nonprofit based in Arlington Heights. We were formed in 2003. So we've been around for 20 years now, which is a huge milestone for an organization to be around that long. So we just celebrated that in 2023, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But our mission is to strengthen Northwest suburban families to achieve financial stability and independence through mentoring, rental assistance, and other support services. So this is really where you get the mentoring piece. Obviously, that was one of and empower, because we're trying to help people become empowered to become financially independent, and then to thrive in that environment, right? So that's where those 3 key words in our tagline come from.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's see. How does Family Forward help families?
Sure.
I'm going to pop here.
So basically, what we provide is rental assistance to working families in the Northwest suburbs. That includes our service areas of Wheeling Township, Elk Grove Township, Palatine Township, and Schaumburg Township.
Okay.
So it's a big geographic service area. There's a lot of towns within those townships. So that just gives you an idea. So we provide rental assistance. Clients in our program pay 30% of their income towards their rent, and we pay the rest. Then over the course of the 2 years in our program, because it's a 2-year program, their rent schedule shifts, and they'll slowly start paying more and more and more of their rent, and we'll pay less and less and less. So by the end of the 2 years with us, they're paying 100% of their rent, and we're not paying any. Simultaneously, while we're helping them with their rent assistance, we are providing them with customized, targeted weekly mentoring. Weekly mentoring from volunteer mentors that we pair them up with. So this truly is where the change happens. Rent assistance, it's the money, of course, that's something that people are attracted to when they come to us. but it's the mentoring where the real transformation happens.
So are these professional people that give their time?
It's a variety, really. It's just whoever has the heart. That's the main criteria, right? We have our mentors are volunteers. We have 2 volunteer mentors that we match up with every family. And these mentors are there not only to, of course, what most people think of, help them with budgeting and financial stuff, but they're there to be a shoulder to cry on. They're there to be their cheerleader. They're there to give them life lesson skills and advice on their kids, or whatever it may be. Advice on how can I go and ask my boss for a raise, or how can I get a different job because I feel like I should be making more money and qualified to do this, or maybe I should get a certification in something else so I can get a different job. So
simple conversation.
It's basically how you might, text your sister or your aunt or your mom or your dad, whatever. This is what the mentors become. They're their support system. I mean, in the end, a majority of our clients don't have other types of support in their life. So these mentors become that for them. It's amazing to me, the commitment that these volunteer mentors have. Because like I said, it's a 2-year commitment. But the number one thing they do for our clients is show up.
Wow.
They show up. And for someone who doesn't have someone else in their life that shows up for them, to have complete strangers, volunteers come and show up for them every week, that has nothing to do with them, right? They're complete. That's like, it moves you, right? Like to know
second family.
Yeah, to know that someone has your back, that is a complete stranger, like that is life changing for someone to know that this complete stranger is showing up for me every week, no matter what. That's where everything, the true change happens.
So I was going to say, so going back to the rental, is this something? So you help with the monthly rental. Is this you help them find it? Are they supposed to have the rental?
Well, that's a great question. We get this a lot because people think that we're a housing agency. We are not. Mm-hmm. So, people come and they say, I need some place to live. We don't have housing of our own that we place clients in. We don't have direct connections to a landlord that has all these openings that we just place our clients in. No, it's not like that. People that are in our program have their own lease on their own apartment, and we pay a portion of the rent directly to the landlord, and they pay their portion of the rent directly to the landlord. So the landlord will get 2 checks or however they want to work it. We'll communicate with the landlord to educate them on what we do, so they know that, this person is in our program. We have an established reputation. We've been around for 20 years. This is how it all works. You'll get a check from us every month, and you'll get a check from them every month.
It's not like a voucher type government type of, everything is non-for-profit.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with like our clients are paying, their, market rate rent at their, apartments.
Okay. So who qualifies for it?
Sure. So to qualify for our program, like I said, it's a 2-year program. There has to be an adult in the household that's working full time. They have to live in our geographic service area, which is the Northwest suburban townships that I mentioned. And they also have to have a child at home that's 22 years of age or younger. So when we say we're supporting low-income working families,
it has to be a family.
Those are the main criteria, right? Kid, working full-time, live in our geographic service area. So that's why, that's in itself is pretty specific, right? We also have a few other criteria, like the adult family members have to be of stable mental health. They're not currently abusing alcohol or drugs. And they're not living or, leaving an abusive relationship. A majority of that is because those are huge issues that someone has to deal with.
Yeah.
And we don't want to put that type of trauma or experience to our volunteer mentors to have to work them through. We want them, when they come to our program, to be ready to work on the stuff, that we're trying to become financially independent and stable. So it's very specific. And, they have to have legal permission to work in the U.S. And be proficient in English. So when you say
legal permission, like a green card?
Yeah,
just a visa or something.
And the main reason for that is, like I said, we have volunteer mentors, and we don't, they're not legally, up on how to help someone get a better job if they're not legally here to be able to work. How is a mentor supposed to navigate that process?
Do you do a background check on?
We do. We do a background check on our clients and on the mentors.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And when you say family, because there's different definitions of families. Mm-hmm. So if it's a mom and a son, that kind of
Oh yeah,
specific.
definitely. I mean, all it is an adult living in the household that works full time, whether that's 1 or 2 people in the household, doesn't matter. And a child that lives at home that's under 22 years of age or younger.
Wow, that's interesting. That is. So, and it's a 2-year program.
Yes.
So what happens when that 2-year program is at its end? I mean, is that it? Is there...
I mean, obviously we can't keep someone on forever as much as they be, we're hopeful that by the end of 2 years, they're at a place where they can be independent.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always happen. Sometimes we've had clients that may have to move to somewhere completely different out of our geographic service area to make it work for them.
Okay.
We've had some cases where maybe they stay in a little longer than 2 years. We're pretty flexible in some regards, depending. Everything's case by case. So maybe they're done with our program, but we might refer them to an additional resource for some additional training or that kind of thing. Follow-up mentoring and that sort of thing.
Counseling or anything like that.
Whatever it may be. We work with a lot of different organizations that we're able to refer to each other. So we just try to do our best to pool all the resources available to do the best we can to help the clients in our program.
It is, but it's nice to know that you have that. It's a supporting.
Yes.
You're basically supporting these people to help them get from one maybe bad spot to a better spot.
Right.
So that's. I think that's really rewarding.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
So how many people do you help?
Yeah. So right now, currently, we have 16 families in our program. When we finished our fiscal year, June 30th. This just gives you a few of the statistics there. We helped 149 people, or 92 kids and 57 adults from 35 different families. And we gave out, I know it says 126, it was really, we gave out 128,000 just in rent support alone.
Okay.
So we've given an additional.
So just rent, that doesn't
that's
include
just rent.
Any products or anything like that?
So that's just rent. Well, great thing you mentioned that. We also, throughout the year might have, other donated goods that we can give them. There's some opportunities sometimes depending on the situation where we could help with auto repair. I mean, I've seen firsthand how one car repair away from potential disaster. It's a domino. If your car's not working, you can't get to work. You can't do this, you can't do that. And then.
So you will help support them?
Depending on the situation, we have done that before. We've been able to help with, tuition expenses if they're going to school, while they're working to try to get a new certification. So, maybe there's some emergency childcare situation. We've been able to help with that. So it's more than just the rent assistance financially that we're able to provide. But again, everything's case by case.
I was going to say everything case by case. So if somebody wants to help, how can they?
Sure.
How can they help?
Oh, we're always looking for help. Of course, the number one way as a nonprofit we're looking for help is financial donations. So, that's what we always encourage and ask for support on, is to become an individual donor to our organization. You can always visit our website and there's a donate button on there if you want to do that. There might be corporate matching if you make a donation through your company that offers that. We have different volunteer opportunities in addition to the mentor, which is our biggest volunteer. It's 2 years. That's a huge commitment. That's dedication. Yeah, but we also have an advisory board that we'd love to get more people involved in. That's a lot less commitment. We meet 4 times a year. It's super casual, but they're really just ambassadors for our organization to kind of support our events and to promote us on social media through that circle. We have about 20 right now that are on our advisory board, and that's mostly younger professionals, kind of. It's very social, and it's a good environment just to kind of get your feet wet in nonprofit too. And then, of course, if you're interested in joining our board, there's that opportunity, or any of our various committees. You don't have to be a board member to, whether it's our marketing committee or a development committee meeting. Always looking for help in that sense too. And then, really just connecting us to other people in the community would be helpful, getting into different, employers that might be in the area, not only for jobs for our clients, but even just to partner with you to see what other things we could do together. And then we had mentioned we do give various goods sometimes out, whether it's, toilet paper, paper towels, anything along those. Gift cards are huge. To try to supplement, many of our clients might use their SNAP or WIC cards and that sort of thing. But gift cards are always in addition. As you all know, like the cost of food is, grown tremendously. So that's a big burden for people that are living, paycheck to paycheck.
And it can help supplement on some of the things
that they can't pay. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and gas gift cards are always helpful too. So a lot of times we'll have groups or companies that do like a gift card drive. I'm going to do that. And one thing I mentioned about gift cards, the beauty of gift cards, people, especially around the holidays, will say, can I just buy a bunch of gifts and I'll wrap them up and I'll give them to you? And, while that would be awesome and so, appreciated, gift cards are even better because it gives the families and the parents a sense of empowerment to know that they have the choice to buy what their kid might want.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And then they can wrap it themselves and that sort of thing, knowing that they picked it out instead of just giving them a box of like something that someone else gave. And even if it's like food, right? The power of the gift card, they can shop for the food that they actually want and that sort of thing. And, people are always like, oh, they should just be grateful that they got something.
You don't think about that.
But you don't think about that, right? There's a sense of empowerment there when you have the choice to pick stuff for yourself and for your family. So gift cards are also a great thing to be able to support. And then the main thing you can do too is follow us on our various social media. So on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow us and you can learn more about us anytime on those platforms.
Yeah. Do you have any events coming up?
We do, actually. Our biggest fundraiser of the year is coming up on October 20th. It's our Giving Hope event. Our theme is there's no place like a home. So it's very Wizard of Oz. We kind of were inspired by the movie Wicked that's coming out in November. But there's no place like a home is, very pertinent to what we do in general. So we're excited about that. It's at the Cotillion Banquets in Palatine. So it's a brunch on a Sunday. So, there'll be what your typical brunch food would be, mimosas, of course. We'll have a donut wall, which is awesome.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. There'll be silent auction, live auction, raffles, paddle raise, all kinds of stuff, live music. So it'll be fun. We're just really looking to try to get about 175, 200 people there.
How many do you usually get it?
Around 175, really. That's what we had last year. We moved venues this year to make it bigger. So we want to bump it up even more. So you can go on our website and check it out for tickets. And we're looking for sponsorships, people to attend, and then, silent auction and raffle prizes too. So any way you can support, it'll be fun. This event, people can dress up if they want in inspired, Wizard of Oz inspired gear, costumes, whatever you want. But it's a fun event. We get a lot of people that come just as like a social outing with their friends. And you'll learn something too, because the keynote of the whole event is our family story. So we'll have a graduated client from our program come and give their story.
That's powerful.
So it's very powerful testimonial about what the program did for them. So it'll be a good event.
So also, wait, I want to see. Do we have any questions? Oh, wait a second.
Oh, hi, Sid.
Hey, yes, Sid. Good to see you both. Well, it's good to see that you're joining us, Sid. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's always neat to see somebody, see who's popping in there. So if anybody else is out there, be sure to place a comment or give us a thumbs up. We'd love to see that you're there. What else do we have? Oh, wait a second. We have our little thing that we're doing here, and I'm going to flip it here. So we have combined forces, and because Erica had mentioned that there is a drive or a need for kitchen products, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing and what I've done is I'm kind of concentrating in my geographical marketing areas, and I've sent out postcards. So we're doing a kitchen drive, and what I'm doing is people are going to send me whoever I sent a postcard, and it doesn't just have to be my geographical area. If somebody's out there who's seeing this and wants to try to donate some kitchen products, we'd love to have you either contact Erica or myself, and we'll get them from you and make sure that Erica gets them. But on September, what did I say? Darn it. So
28th.
The 28th. Okay. It's a Saturday. So Saturday, September 28th, what I am doing is I put a postcard out there, and if you would like, I asked people to put their donations of paper products, cleaning products, what other things were there?
Really for like kitchen things you would use in the kitchen, paper towels, like spray, kitchen spray, foil, even saran wrap or plastic wrap, Ziploc bags, all that kind of stuff. Just think what you would use in your kitchen.
And then what I've asked is everybody to put it in a bag and put it at the end of your driveway, and that I'll be by on. I'm going to probably get out at 10 o'clock in the morning and pick up all of the donations, and then we will provide them to Erica so that she'll have a bunch of things to give to Family Forward, and that it'll all be used to all the families that, you know, are in the program. So I just wanted to put that out there because we just got the postcards out. I know I got my postcard at my house. So I'm looking forward to getting some donations on behalf of Family Forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That was an awesome idea. We're so grateful. And like Dawn said, if any of you out there have items you want to donate, just reach out to me or Dawn, and we'll figure out a way to get that from you, whether we pick it up or, you know, coordinate a drop-off location of some kind. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So what do we have here? Chris Block. What a great organization. Yes, it is.
Thank you.
It's a very great. And go, Dawn. Thank you. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to kind of remove this here from so you can see the both of us again. So I want to thank Erica for joining us and telling us, giving us a great information about Family Forward and what it all is about. And you know, there's different things that we could do to help this non-for-profit. And please be in touch with Erica if you would like to take part in any facet that they have, where you can assist them with their program. Yeah. So thank you again for joining us. I would like you to let everybody know, how can they get in touch with you if they'd like to help out, assist, donate?
Sure. For real. Well, at the minimum, you can always visit our website at family-forward.org. You can also email me at erica.chianelli@family-forward.org, or call me at 847-342-0846. And you can find me on LinkedIn and just direct message me that way as well.
Well, thank you again for joining.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
And I'm glad that you were able to be here. And I want to thank everybody out there for joining. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. We have Gary Stubitz here. Thank you for visiting and joining us.
Hi, Gary.
Hello, ladies. Love the podcast. Well, I'm glad that you were here to join in. I love how people interact. Thank you so much, Gary. So again, I guess now I can end. I want to say thank you to everybody for joining this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block, and be sure to look out for the next one. I'll be coming up soon. I am going on vacation, so it'll probably be the end of September if I can find somebody. But again, thank you for joining, and everybody make it a great rest of your week, and have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Have a great Labor Day weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.